Are you looking for the cheapest places to travel to in Asia? Then you have a variety of excellent options to choose from. The Asian continent is the world's largest, with 48 countries. While Japan and Singapore may be off the list for the budget traveler, Asia has lots of cheap places with different landscapes and interesting cultures. This is Gretchen from Top Club, and I'm going to share with you 8 amazingly cheap countries you should travel to, and why we recommend them. Number 1. Indonesia. When you think about cheap Asian vacations, you might not think of Indonesia. After all, the island of Bali has a reputation for luxury and is not perfect for the budget-conscious. However, other Indonesian islands, particularly Java and Sumatra, are significantly more affordable and absolutely gorgeous. Indonesia, which is easily accessible from all over the world, has a lot to offer its visitors, including stunning sunbathing beaches and unique wildlife, as well as ecotourism and surfing. If you're on a limited budget, you may get by in Indonesia for roughly $25 per day. A normal meal will cost you roughly $3, though this can vary depending on the quality of the restaurant. Alternatively, you may enjoy Indonesia's incredible street food, with a simple noodle or rice meal costing as little as 50 cents. Accommodation is also reasonably priced. A reasonable hostel bed can be found for as little as $2 per night, rising to up to $20 per night for more luxurious options, while hotel rooms start at around $45 per night. Transportation is inexpensive, particularly transportation by bus, which rarely costs more than $1. Alternatively, you can rent a scooter for less than $5 for the entire day. Number 2. Malaysia. Malaysia is the most developed country in Southeast Asia. It has beautiful beaches as well as superb shopping centers and modern cities. It is culturally rich, but it also boasts many historical landmarks and some of the world's most spectacular architecture. Its people are naturally kind and friendly, representing a melting pot of cultures that contributes to the country's incredibly diverse attractiveness. Malaysia is one of the cheapest locations to visit in Asia, while being slightly more expensive than Thailand or Indonesia. If your budget is tight, you may get by on as little as $25 per day. A bed at a decent quality hostel can cost as little as $6 per night, but a hotel room can cost anywhere from $50 to $100 per night, depending on the location. Malaysian cuisine is delicious, combining Chinese, Indian, and Malay flavors. A modest dinner on the street starts at roughly $1.50, and a meal in a restaurant is unlikely to cost more than a few dollars. It is also inexpensive to travel. A scooter can be rented for between $2.50 and $10 per day, while long-distance buses, the most affordable way to travel between cities, cost between $5 and $23 per trip, depending on length. Number 3. Cambodia. Cambodia may be one of the most popular cheap Asian travel destinations. There are numerous reasons for this, ranging from its people's unusually warm friendliness to its stunning natural landscape. Cambodia, home to Angkor Wat, the world's biggest religious monument, has a rich culture that is often honored through dance, traditional music, or extravagant celebrations. Markets are fundamental to Cambodian culture and fascinating to visitors, while the diverse environment provides numerous chances for exploring. If you're on a tight budget, you may get by with as little as $18 to $20 per day. Hostels typically cost around $2 per night, but some provide beds for as cheap as $1 per night. There are a few updated hostels in Cambodia as well, with amenities such as swimming pools and breakfast. They are still reasonably inexpensive, with rates averaging around $8 per night. A motel room typically costs roughly $20 per night. Food is also extremely cheap, With a simple curry from a street seller costing less than $1 and a lunch at a modest restaurant costing approximately $3, you have several transportation options, all of which are reasonably priced. Long-distance bus rides cost about $1 per hour, whereas you can rent a motorcycle for about $5 per day. Tuk-tuk rides often range between $1 and $10. Number 4. Vietnam. Vietnam may have had a terrible past, but it is impossible to remember when you view its breathtaking terrain. The scenery is breathtaking, with soaring mountains, limestone islands, caves, and beautiful paddy fields at every turn. In Vietnam, you can enjoy everything from sunbathing on its pure white beaches to visiting its ancient pagodas. Its locals will greet you with open arms, whether you visit one of its contemporary cities or one of its more isolated communities. Despite its popularity, Vietnam remains one of the most affordable Asian destinations. A budget of roughly $30 would suffice for a pleasant stay in which you can indulge in the great local street food and sleep in clean and comfortable accommodations. Expect to pay at least $4 per night for a hostel bed, with prices increasing to roughly $15 per night for a higher-end hostel with luxury elements. Hotel rooms range in price from $13 to $50 per night, depending on location. A good dinner from a street vendor can cost as little as 50 cents, whereas a lunch in a local restaurant would cost between $3 and $5. Traveling about the country is simple and inexpensive, with taxis charging roughly 60 cents per kilometer and motorcycle taxis even less. A bicycle rickshaw costs between $4 and $8 per hour for one person, while local buses cost less than 50 cents for every route. Scooter rental costs about $5 per day, and long-distance bus rides cost from $2 to $3 per 100 kilometers, depending on the route. Number 5. Thailand. Despite being one of the world's most popular tourist destinations, Thailand remains one of Asia's cheapest locations. There are so many things to enjoy about the country, from the cheerful, friendly people to some of the world's most wonderful cuisine. Some of its more remote islands are picturesque, and its dense forests provide opportunities for serious trekking, with breathtaking views, refreshing waterfalls, and plentiful animals. Its cities are boisterous and loud, but in a good manner, with a cosmopolitan vibe and an endless supply of activities. The north of the country is slightly cheaper than the south, yet the average cost per day for budget tourists is just approximately $28. Hostel rooms can range from $3 to $7 per night, although hotel rooms might cost much more. At the very least, you should budget roughly $20 every night. Thailand's street cuisine is incredibly cheap, with the average lunch costing roughly $2. If you want to spend, you can treat yourself to a meal at a local restaurant for roughly $5 per dish. There are also numerous low-cost transportation options. Taxis start at roughly $1, making them less expensive than tuk-tuks, while trains are an excellent way to get around Bangkok. Ticket prices range from 70 cents to $1.40. Local buses are quite inexpensive, costing between 30 and 75 cents for every ride, whereas long-distance buses cost between $1 and $3 per hour. A scooter can be rented for about $5 per day. Number 6. Laos. While several of the cheap Asian destinations in this video have a reputation for being noisy and chaotic, Laos is known for its relaxed vibe. Its scenery is stunning and, in many parts, completely untouched. Scenic villages dot the hillsides, while Vientiane, the capital, sits alongside the Mekong, with its floating marketplaces and dwellings. It is fairly simple to travel to Laos without breaking the bank. A daily budget of roughly $25 can afford you a comfortable stay in a reputable hostel, as well as plenty of wonderful street cuisine. A bed at a hostel dorm can cost anything from $3 to $12 per night, depending on the quality you desire. A hotel or guest house room, on the other hand, will cost you anywhere from $10 to $50 per night. A modest but excellent meal from a street vendor will cost you less than $1, and even a more spectacular feast will cost you less than $5. Restaurant meals are, of course, more expensive, but you won't have to spend much more than $8 per meal on average. Taxi rides are typically a few dollars for a short trip, but your initial price is frequently significantly higher than you should pay. Be prepared to negotiate. Jumbos, Laos' version of tuk-tuks, are less expensive, but you must still negotiate for the best deal. Scooters cost between $8 and $15 to rent, whereas long-distance buses cost between $1 and $2 per hour. Number 7. Nepal. Nepal could be one of the cheapest Asian countries to visit. In fact, the Nepalese have a phrase that sums up their friendly attitude toward visitors. Guests are God. The world's tallest mountains can be located here, earning Nepal the nickname Switzerland of Asia. The Nepalese government is proud of the country's geographical diversity, which is highly safeguarded and ensures that there is unspoiled beauty everywhere. There is certainly much to do, with a wide range of high-octane adventure sports for thrill seekers and a plethora of temples and palaces for history and culture lovers. In Nepal, you can get by on a daily budget of about $25. Hostel rooms start at roughly $8 per night, whereas a room in a modest hotel will cost you anywhere from $27 per night. Nepalese street cuisine is extremely inexpensive, with the simplest meals costing less than $1, while a meal at a basic restaurant can cost as little as $2. Nepal's public transportation system is quite efficient, and there are numerous bus networks, some of which charge as little as 20 cents per ticket. Taxis typically start at $2 and charge roughly 50 cents per kilometer traveled. Scooters and motorcycles are frequently available for rent, with prices starting at roughly $7 per day. Number 8. Philippines. Made up of more than 7,000 islands, the Philippines is often overlooked when it comes to cheap Asian vacations. However, it is a destination worth considering, with stunning marine life, a captivating culture, a busy nightlife, and some of the friendliest people you will ever meet. The north is popular with tourists because it is home to the country's capital, Manila, as well as many beautiful surrounding islands. The central Philippines has its own set of attractions, ranging from deserted beaches to the opportunity to swim with sharks. A day trip to this gorgeous area can be had for as little as $20 per person. The average nightly rate for a hostel room is roughly $5, but the average nightly rate for a hotel room is $50. A meal from a street food vendor can cost as little as $1, whereas restaurant meals typically start at about $5. You'll be taking a lot of ferry rides to explore all of the different islands. A ticket costs between 60 cents and $1.40 for a short ride and around $9 for longer trips. Bus tickets start at less than $1 and cost roughly $1 per hour for lengthier travel. Renting a motorcycle or scooter starts at roughly $6 per day. If you've been thinking about how to travel on a budget in Asia, I hope this video has shown you how inexpensive a trip to this continent could be. We hope you enjoy every second of your trip, whether you are hoping to explore a new culture, visit magnificent historical places, or simply enjoy the natural beauty of a far-flung region.